Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Crew. I'm Laura and you are watching Thursday Threads. Today I want to talk about Jacob's Ladder. The Jacob's Ladder is one of the older quilt block patterns. It is inspired by Jacob of the Bible, and it is also the June block for the Quilt Block Lottery group on Facebook. Check down below for any and all links. And we're doing like a cream background and then a Civil War reproduction for our pattern. Now what is interesting, I have to give you a little bit of history on this. If you end up using a third color, then I think it's called West of California, Oregon's Hoe. There's a bunch of different names for this pattern. So what do you need to do to start with? I got some 5-inch blocks, and I have them in my, cream colors. And I've also got some in my vintage Civil War reproduction. Then you need some 2.5-inch squares. Same colors. Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do, this block is comprised of 2 units. We have a little 4-patch, and then we have a half square triangle. We have 5 of the 4 patches and 4 of the half square triangles. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. This does make a 12.5-inch unfinished block. So in your quilt, it would be 12 inches. I see so many possibilities for this. So many different ways to lay it out. You could do it in the same 2 colors throughout your top, or you can make each block different color. I would probably use the same background, but then use up some fabrics that you've got just a little bit of. You don't need a lot. Many different ways for you to get this started, just for ease of showing y'all how to do it. So I have 2.5-inch blocks, and I'm just going to sew together. See, I need to have 5 units, so that means I'm going to need 10 of these sewn together. I am using my piecing foot on my machine, so I should get really nice little squares. So I should have a really nice 1/4-inch seam. Well, once you get all those made up, of course, you're going to press. I'm just going to roll it out. And let's make another one. And press it to the dark side. So as you know, as quilters, we always go to the dark side. Now, there's many different ways to make your 4 patches. You pick the way that works best for you. So so this time this seam is going that way, this one is going this way. So we should have a nice, where it just fits right in. And you can feel it being a little flat, and it just fits right in. Now when I'm piecing, especially little pieces like this, and I want my points to come up right, I'm sure some people think I overpin, but I don't want it to move. So I'm going to hang on to it real tight right there, and I'm going to put a pin in on the left side of the nesting, the nestling, the joining, And then I'm going to put one on the right side. Okay? And we're just going to sew that together. You don't want to sew over your pins. So I like to kind of just pull them gently until they're not in the needle's way, but still holding everything together. We're going to press it open, and then we're going to square it. When I was younger, much younger, I didn't know to square stuff, you know, and that would be why I had a mess. And it was so frustrating. And you can see, well, not too bad there. So I am going to square this up. This unit needs to be 4.5 inches. So that means on either side of the seam line, so I'm going to line it up there, it should be 2.25 inches. 2.25 plus 2.25 is 4.5. So we're just going to kind of trim on the edges. I said this is a 2.5 inch ruler, so I'm just going to, where it's 2.25, I'm lining my 2.25 up on the seam. And ta-da! So we've got a 4.5 inch square. So I have already gone through and squared these up. And I can put these aside. The next thing I want to do, and I've already started these, I'm going to take my background color and my main color, which is the blue. And I want to draw a line from corner to corner, and then I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on either side of the line. So I've got a seam here, I have a seam here, and that's how we're going to make our half square triangles. So I've already done that, but now I just need to cut just right along my drawn line, and then these we're just going to press open again to the dark side, I bet you thought we were done now. Nope, nope, nope. Now we need to square this up to be 4.5 inches as well. So we have 5 of our 4 patches. We're going to have 4 of our half square triangles. Y'all need to be sure to check out our group on Facebook, Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners. We've also got a page on Facebook called Crazy Dave's Group, and a website, blog, something, whatever you want to call it, where we're just kind of rambling and telling about ourselves and our activities, our adventures, called cdcrew.com. And I'm going to try to start putting up my sewing up there. We have a lot of fun things planned, and I am looking forward to them. With your half square triangles, I like to use a square that has the line. You're just going to match that line up to that seam. And I'm going to go just a little bit more than 4.5. Turn it around, do the same thing, but this time go to 4.5. So you can see my line is right there on the seam. And I have a 4.5 inch half square triangle. So let's go ahead and trim up these other ones. And then let's work on putting them together. You should definitely check out also Michelle's group, Quilt Block Lottery. There's a new block every month. And I'm having a blast. I'm having a wonderful time learning the new blocks. And I'll tell you that they're fascinating, especially when you find some with interesting names. Or of course there's some, they have a whole list of names. So a lot of times it just depends upon the region, the background of the person who was making it, where they came from, where they went to, as to what it was called. So I'm gonna put this away. So we've got there. And there. 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 Okay, and they are all going the same way. Okay. So you've got your corner, 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 corner. Because this one is going to go this way. So you want your color to match here. And so these two are going to go downward. And then these two are going to go upward. We make a little butterfly right there. Okay. And now you just put it together. And where everything is 4.5 inches, you should be just good to go. And if I go ahead and tear them off and go ahead and replace them down, that way I don't get lost and put them in the wrong rows. Surely I can't be the only person who's done that. But just to let y'all know, you're not the only one who's done that. All right. Oh, there's my middle. I got them upside down. There we go. Is that right? I think I got that right. So yay. Now you're just going to put them together. And so once you've got your rows done, basically what you're making is a 9 patch, but you're doing it with units instead of just with squares. And then you just put it together as you would any other 9 patch. And you can end up with this. I believe this design is included in the Underground Railroad blocks. Now there is a lot of controversy among people about whether that was true or not. I guess it all depends upon who you study or listen to. But this is also one of the blocks for Underground Railroad. And I can see why, because it kind of looks like a railroad track. I can also see why this would be like wagons ho, wagons to California, all of the different names. And it does look like it's a ladder. So I can see that. Very elegant pattern. So I said you could do it all in the same colors. Or you could mix and match. And I think you can have yourself a very pretty top. Great way of using up some of your scraps. Not your little bitty pieces, but some of your bigger pieces. Well, I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this. I love when I showed my husband. He was like, wow, that's nice. I like that block. So anytime, a non-sewer is able to go, wow, that is really neat. Because again, you look at it, it looks complicated. But it's just 2 different units being put together. So I love the ones that look complicated, but they're not. And I love it when I can help get my husband or my kids to go, wow, Mom, that looks nice. It's a fun block to do. If you happen to look up Quilt Block Lottery on Facebook, be sure to tell Michelle that Crazy Dave's Crew said hi. And we would love to see pictures. Look for us for our blog, cdcrew.com. Look for us on Facebook, Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners. We'd love to see pictures. I would love to see what you do with these blocks. And look for an article on cdcrew.com. I may try to list down all the different names that this is called and known by. And we will see you next time right here on Crazy Dave's Crew. Have a great day and happy sewing.